All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Bowker, very excited to be chatting with an individual competing on the August 16th BKFC fight night, and a very intriguing matchup going down as Zeb Vincent knuckles up and toes the line against Doug Coltrane, and great getting to have Doug on the show. How are you doing, man? You having a solid day so far?
Yeah, man, at work, I got a little free time, so I figured we go ahead and chop it up, man.
Yeah, and it's been a little bit. I mean, we were talking before your last fight, but getting back to it after just a bit over 9 months outside of the ring, so I imagine you're excited to get back to it.
Oh man, definitely excited to get back, man. My last outing, man, it wasn't me. I hit a little depression, after that fight, and I'm just ready to get back, man. I'm ready to get back in there, man. Show people the real Doug, the real Coltrane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, was it like, I mean, not to pry, obviously, but was it just things going on in your life that was really taking away from the performance, like in just what you kind of alluded to there?
Man, we talked before that fight, and I think me and you talked before that fight, and I was trying to keep it together mentally. Obviously it was the biggest fight of my life, the biggest opportunity of my life, and I felt like I was doing good. I felt like I was trying to keep everything together. I had some personal things happen like a couple weeks before the fight. And I went into the fight thinking like, okay, I'm okay. I had like a little week where I had to deal with some stuff before the fight, and I was like, I dealt with it. I was like, okay, I got to, get it out of my mind. It is what it is. It's over. Let's go face this. Fight for this world title and put everything. We'll deal with this when we get back. And I thought I was doing great, man, but the more anxiety and pressure was building up for the actual fight and just everything with it being a world title, I think it just kind of got to me, and I definitely could tell in my performance. So
Yeah, I mean, that just shows how complicated everything is and how much like the mental part of the game can affect things. But I saw an article on the BKFC site where it seemed like you were kind of looking at it as like a thing where even though you weren't necessarily satisfied with how it played out, like there would still be some takeaways from fighting the world champion and one of the best pound for pound fighters in the sport.
oh yeah, for sure, man. I took away a lot from it, man. Like one thing's for sure, when I make it back, you mark my words. When I make it back, not if I make it back. When I make it back, he's gonna be a different person. You're gonna see a different person. I've been there already. The lights and the world title, your name streaming all over. Amazon everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with it already. I've been there, and being in there with the number one guy definitely sheds a lot of light on me. Like, I was in there with the number one guy. The fight was going pretty good, until it wasn't. I barely even touched him. I put a cut under his eye. I show people that when I hit you, I hurt you, regardless of who it is. And I plan to do that some more in August 16th.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, yeah, just interesting to see you back at it too. And also just kind of like doing the kind of backgrounding into the interview. Like I saw there was some, I guess, well wishes from some previous opponents. Like there was like a bout announcement post for this one that you had dropped on your Instagram, and I saw Blake Lacaze dropped the fire emoji, and then Dave Mundell, who we just referenced, was also kind of showing some love. So I mean, I always like to see that kind of stuff, like the camaraderie among fighters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I respect Dave Mundell, but you know, I can't say I like him as a person. As a lot of these guys, like me and Blake, we're really cool. As a person, me and him, we really hit it off outside. Like I've had fighters that, that right away we connect. Right after the fight, win or lose, we connect. And then I've had some fighters that I just don't speak to at all, and then I have some fighters that I really don't like. And Dave's he's a character, man, because when you seen it as him showing love, I felt like that he was like what's the word I'm looking for? Like he was trolling me. But
Oh,
it's cool. It's cool, man. At the end of the day, these guys get on the internet And see, that's what I'm having. Like, that's what I have a problem with. These guys, they get on the internet and they're tough and they talk shit and they got a lot to say. But then when we're in person, they want to be like nice and shake your hand and shit. And like I'm not from. I'm that ain't how I do it where I'm from. Like I'm the keep that same energy type of person. Like if you a douchebag on the internet, don't try to be cool with me. And you know what I mean when we're in person too. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand trying to sell the fight and everything, but keep the same energy at least until the fight's over with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was something you'd kind of noticed with Mundell, just like a certain different kind of energy in person versus online and stuff like that. Like, I guess this is like before and after the fight.
His whole camp, man. Like I don't really like any of them guys, man. If I'm just being honest, man. Like, I don't got no problem with them. I respect them guys. They got a hell of a little camp down there. They got 2 world champions coming out of there. And they got one guy on the cusp of fighting for another world title, Brandon Allen. So, I respect them guys highly. But man, just the way they act, man, the way things went down that night at the fight, it was some things that happened after the fight, where some drinks they got thrown back and forth. It was, but see, that's the thing with them guys. Online, they talk shit. Then when they're in your face, they're like, "Oh, it's respect, man. Hey, how you doing?" Then soon as they're back online, they're talking shit again. Like literally, we were in the middle of the ring. Dave Mundell tried to shake my hand, and at the time I was mad because I felt like the ref could have asked me, "Do you want to fight? Step over here." He said that after the fight was over, he said that when he tried to grab me or whatever, that I fell into the ring ropes. I'm like, you pushed me you grabbed me into the ring ropes, but you didn't ask me, Coltrane, do you want to keep fighting? Step over here. It's a world title fight. So I can make a whole bunch of excuses about the fight, but I don't blame anybody but me. But I will say in Dave Mundell and them's camp, the way that they act and the things that they do. Like I said, he was talking shit all on the internet. As soon as he seen me at the hotel, he want to come up and shake my hand. After the fight, before that was okay. So before the fight, he was talking shit, saying, "Oh, Coltrane's a bum. Coltrane's this. Coltrane's that." Then when he's in front of me after the fight, after we fight, and his eyes cut and his eyes are about to close up before we even walk out of the ring. Now he's like, "Yo, bro, look what you did to me, bro. I respect you. I respect what you are." And as soon as he gets a chance online again, I'm a bum again. I'm like, yeah, I can't rock with them guys. I'm sorry, I can't rock with them guys, yo. And it's funny because I seen him talking junk to I forgot the dude's name, man. He fought. He fought. You know the 185 champ's name? He just won the belt. He's Dave Mundell's partner.
Oh, Jared Warren. Yeah.
Jared Warren. Okay. The dude that fought Jared Warren that beat him the first time, then the second time they said he hit him in the back of the head. I forgot his name,
Josh
but
Dyer.
Josh Dyer. Josh Dyer. He was so they were going back and forth at it on the line. And like Dave Mundell's online and he's talking mad shit. He's like, saying all kind of stuff. And I jump on the post. I'm like, Dave, I know this ain't you saying all this when you're the most respectful guy that I know in person. And he like laugh out loud. Yeah, but this guy, he said something about Josh Dyer or whatever. He was talking about how Josh Dyer called him a hillbilly or something. I don't remember exactly what he called him. But yeah, man, just the way them guys carry themselves, man, that ain't who I am, man. And being in this BKFC things, I'm starting to see like guys like Tony Loco with hell of a personality, and like them guys, they get seen and they become stars. And like I'm trying to figure out who it is. I know who I am, and it's hard for me to act like I'm somebody else. So like I'm trying to like obviously I want to bring more eyes to myself too, but I'm thinking that I just need to be me. I need to be Doug. I need to be that ninja that I am in real life. You understand what I'm saying? And I plan to do that or be me. In August when I'm standing in front of Zeb, I got a few things to say, and I'm just gonna be me, man, and get to being me, and showing the people who Doug Coltrane is.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I mean, a lot to talk about with this fight coming up, but just in the interest of, I guess, talking about like a fight kind of coming up. Like, what are your thoughts on that, I guess, light heavyweight jump up that Mundell is doing fighting King Mo at BKFC 66? Like, do you have any thoughts on that fight?
I'm happy for him. I definitely believe he deserves a money fight. He deserves, with the work he's put in for BKFC and the people that he's beat, man, I can't. He deserves the Perry fight. He deserves the money fight. So, but I know that's what he's chasing. So I also know that him chasing that is going to end up putting me. All I gotta do Zeb, if I sleep Zebulon, then yeah, it's gonna mess around and put me right back there, right back where I was at. And if he's chasing money or if he's chasing whatever, that's cool because I'm still chasing that belt. So I told him the other day on the internet, I said, because he had some little abs or something, and I was like, whoa, is them abs Photoshop? And he was like, nah. He was like, I'm trying to make sure I keep my belt. I said, well, it's cool. I'll be back on your block soon, champ.
Yeah, and I mean, you're still very much right in that mix there. And especially if you, like you said, get the win in the kind of fashion you seem to be looking to here. And just curious to get your thoughts on Zeb specifically, because he has like a couple wins in BKFC now. Like he was kind of in the higher end of it weight wise when he debuted against Keegan Vandermeer, but it seems like he's settled more into like what would look like his natural weight category and has like I guess finishes across his last two fights and got that win just a bit ago in May. Like what are your thoughts on Zeb Vincent in terms of like what you've seen from him overall so far in bare knuckle?
I mean, the dude comes to fight, that's for sure. I mean, off the scratch, he's came at everybody hard off the scratch every fight. Dude comes to fight. You know, I respect anybody that gets in here, man. His team asked for me. I didn't ask for this fight. I'm going to his house. He lives 5 minutes from the venue. So or 10 minutes, however many minutes he lives right around. They asked for me. So I don't, so I took that personal. Like, you want my spot? Everybody wants my spot. I'm ranked number 2. Who wouldn't want my spot? He wants my spot. But I think he chose the wrong guy. He chose the wrong guy. I'm coming off I want to prove to myself. I don't care about what people think about me. I do, but I don't, I don't care, what people got to say about me. I'm doing this to prove this fight is for honor to me because I felt like I let myself down in the last fight. And, I'm coming to knock Zeb the fuck out. I'm just being honest.
Do you visualize that happening at like a particular point or more of just like implement your game and it'll happen when it happens kind of thing?
I honestly think when I touch him, man, he going to sleep, man. It's gonna be ugly when I touch him. It could be first round, second round. I don't see it going 5 rounds. Eventually, I'm gonna touch him. He gets touched too much. I've noticed that about him in his fights, even in his bare knuckle fights. The last fight, he looked good, but the dude was rocking him. But he was taking dude shots. He won't take Coltrane shots. He better be moving. He better be working on some head movement. He better call up Mundell or somebody and try to work on that head movement. Because if he gets hit by one of these, sleepy.
Yeah, and you did kind of mention the name of Platinum a bit earlier, and I was seeing just a bit before your last fight, your kind of idea was like if you were to, get the win, you would call out Mike Perry, being that he was like, the guy that has such a level of name prominence and bare knuckle. And your last tweet as of this recording, as we're kind of chatting now, like you were talking about how, if Tyron Woodley couldn't finish Jake Paul, sign me up. Like, what were your thoughts on that whole Mike Perry, Jake Paul fight if you caught it?
Oh man, real quick before I get into that, real quick. Oh man, it was all laid out for me, man. I wanted to beat Mundell. If it would have went the way I wanted to, I wanted to beat Mundell, and I was gonna pull a Mike Perry on Mike Perry. If you remember, Mike Perry, he said after he beat, was it Mendez or it might have been? No, I don't think it was Mendez. It was Eddie Alvarez. After he beat Eddie Alvarez, he said, man, he grabbed the mic. He said, Conor McGregor, man, can I get a face off, man? Like I was gonna pull a him on him. I was gonna say if I would have won that fight, I was gonna say Perry, what's up, man? Can I pull a you on you? Can I get a face off, man? You know what I'm saying? And that's what my plan was to do the whole time. But obviously the fight didn't go my way. Now on the Mike Perry Jake Paul fight, the moment that it was called, I called what was gonna happen. I think people are underestimating Jake Paul a lot. One, he's a bigger dude than what a lot of people expect. The dude walks around at like 220, 230. He's a big guy. And Mike Perry's a 170 pounder. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest. And I knew that Perry's not a boxer, man. This I think that boxers have the upper advantage in BKFC. I think it, it I think they have the technical advantage, but I think that also that it's not boxing in BKFC, so the boxers have to be careful. There's a lot of things you can do that you can't do in BKFC that you can do in the boxing ring. So like I tell people all the time, man, boxing is different. And Jake Paul's been boxing for like 6 years now, and he's got plenty of money. So all he does is train with high talented guys, and guys that he can afford to pay guys to come train him. So like he's a real boxer now, and I felt that he would outbox Mike Perry easy. And then I knew that he was giving up the size advantage, so I was kind of worried about it. Obviously, I wanted Mike Perry to win because I think now everybody just wants to see Jake Paul get his ass whooped. But I was rooting for Mike Perry, even though I'm not a huge fan of him. I was rooting for him, but I kind of felt like what was going to happen, what happened was going to happen.
Yeah, definitely a pronounced size advantage from what I could kind of tell even as well. But you were talking about how Jake Paul is able to work with like such top level guys. I mean, you've gotten in a lot of great work and we've chopped it up about that the last like couple times we've talked. Like, are you still, I guess, working at the primary spaces like TFTC, and you were also at Brunson's MMA and fitness at one point? Like, is that mostly where you're kind of honing the proverbial tools there?
Well, actually, I changed it up a little bit. Um, I'm this time for this camp. I'm with Ashford Boxing Club out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. Coach Steve, he's been helping me. He's going with me to Kansas City this time. So I've just been putting most of my time there with him. I'm still working with Elite Martial Arts with Carlos and Jeff Finney. They're working with me on my strength and conditioning. On the weekends I'm still traveling down to train with Brunson and them. So yeah, I'm still doing that, man. It's basically the same thing. Just instead of going to Clayton, I'm just staying in Goldsboro where I live at, and then I'm driving down to Wilmington on the weekends. But yeah, I still love TLTC. That's still my school. That's still my home. I still love all the guys there. But this time we're just doing a little something different. So.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems like you also derive a lot from being a fighting father. And it seems like your son is quite, great in his own athletic endeavors. Is he still rocking like the football efforts and stuff like that? Like I know he was like readying for like a big playoff game the last time we were talking.
Yeah, they did. They did well. They did all right, man. We didn't do as well as we did the year before, but this was my son's last year, man, and he's actually graduated now, and he's going off to ECU, man. He's going to East Carolina University. He's not going to play ball. I wanted him to, but he said he just wanted to get his career started, so he's going to ECU to become a occupational therapist. He's gonna go to med school, so I'm proud of him, man. Whatever he chooses to do, I'm with him. I'm behind him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very proud of my son. I'm glad you said something about that.
Yeah, no, I think it's so cool, man. I mean, it's always good to get to, talk about fight related stuff, but I mean, there's so much more to one's life than that and whatnot. And you seem to really take a lot of pride in being a dad. I know you have an even younger son that was peeping your last fight as well. So yeah, it's always good to talk about the family and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Love the family, man. That's what it's all about, man. God first, family always.
I guess to that point in mentioning the fact that your younger son was peeping last time, is he like a guy who regularly is checking out the fights? Like, is he going to be peeping the next one from you and whatnot? Going to be checking out the next Cold Red fight and whatnot?
Absolutely, man. They love their dad, man, and I've been doing this fighting stuff for a while, man, and especially Brady, my youngest son, he's all about it. Like if he could be with me in the gym sparring, and like if he could be with me in the corner, like he there yelling at me, Dad, keep your hands up. Here, take some water. Like he's right there with me, and like I love having him around, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, well, it's great to hear, man. It's great to hear that so many things seem to be in alignment. And I was definitely excited when I saw the poster drop for this one and you kind of getting back to action after, for a little bit, like I said, your first fight of the calendar year and bare knuckle and whatnot. So I really do appreciate you making the time and I guess kind of breaking the fourth wall for also being kind of flexible with the schedule when I confused the time zones and stuff like
So
that. But yeah.
yeah, man, it's all good. Where you at again?
Well, right now I'm in Brazil, actually.
Oh, oh man. So is it night? Oh no, so Brazil. I'm tripping. So yeah. So what? You're a couple hours behind over there?
Yeah, well, I think there was like an hour difference, but I think I just mixed it up. I think I like inverted it, like instead of like an hour back, it's like an hour before kind of thing. Like I kind of just mixed it up in that sort of regard. But yeah, no,
I got
good to be able to make it work and get to talk now.
you. Yeah, yeah, man. That's cool, man. You already know. Anytime, man. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, no, likewise, man. It's good getting to chat, and I feel like we did cover a lot of territory there, but in the interest of kind of giving you the floor, maybe there's a final parting thought you wanted to add as we're sort of wrapping up here and everything, Doug. I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, let me add this, and I don't know, for whoever's gonna listen to this, Zeb, if you listening, I'm fucking your plans all up, buddy. You picked the wrong person. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, and I also was seeing you still had I mean, I guess this is as of like last week at this point, but it looked like you had a few more banner spots left. Is there still opportunities to be part of Cold Red and whatnot, like have their logo flown across the world, or have those spots been filled up since?
Yeah, I kind of filled all the spots up already, but I do appreciate you saying something about that though.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a great sign of things and everything like that, and definitely stoked to peep this Zeb Vincent fight. Should be a great BKFC fight night on August 16th. And yeah, thanks so much for coming on Bare Knuckle Bowker and giving some great insights, Doug. You have a good rest of your day, man, and looking forward to peeping the fight when it goes down too.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you, man. Tune in, man. It's going down.